Hey, my name is Jen Gerasimus, and I'm the one behind 7 Core Wellness, which is all about trying to make healthy simple. And during this time, when you have made a huge run to the grocery store and gotten a ton of food because we're social distancing and want to avoid having to go out as little as possible, you might be wondering, what in the world do I do with all this food? How do I make it last and make sure that it doesn't spoil, that I'm going to have these good dinners every night? And so this is what this video is about, using the downloadable, that came with it, and it's going through the 5-step process in order to plan a 14-day meal plan. Now, if you've not gone to the grocery store yet, this can be really helpful in you planning for going to the grocery store so you can be better prepared. So using your downloadable, step 1 is going to be, you're going to take an inventory of all the food that you have, all the food that you've gotten that you want to make meals from, potentially can make meals from. So what's in your pantry, what's in your freezer, what's in your fridge, what's in your cabinets if you store food in your cabinets, what items do you have that you can make your meals from, okay? And I'm always going to focus on more whole, real food ingredients rather than your processed and artificial. So my encouragement to you there is things that are Insta and things that are processed and artificial. Try not to put them on this list. But what I want you to do is then, after you've made that inventory of all that food, or as you're making it, I want you to mark with like a star, asterisk, or highlight the food ingredients that needs to be used pronto, that needs to be used right away, that needs to be used at least within the first week, the first couple of days. Maybe you have a container of mixed greens that might, it's not going to last much longer. Maybe there's a carton of broth in the refrigerator that you don't want to use up that's already open, or you've already thawed out some meat. So by those, you want to make a mark so you know. And also, if you have foods multiple sizes or types of that that you could get multiple meals out of. For example, you bought a whole big thing of broccoli, and so you know that you could use that in 2 different dinners. So put like a ×2 by that. Or you've got several cans of black beans, mark beside that. Or in the freezer you've got a few packages of ground beef. So mark that you could get a couple meals out of. So mark beside that so you know. So you need to have a good inventory of what you have in order to plan out for 2 weeks, since that is a long time to plan out for. This is when also can be handy for knowing how long your fruits and veggies are going to last, is what this sheet is for. So if you've bought a bunch and you're kind of uncertain, refer to this sheet. You may not really have fruits for dinner, but for vegetables, it's going to last 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 to 2 weeks, and then beyond 2 weeks. All right, so after you made your inventory of food, we're going to move on to step 2. And step 2 is that you're going to make a list of the dinners that you've already planned for, or that someone's requested. Mom, will you please make this? So those come first, and then as you're writing those dinners down, come over here to this list and cross off the foods that those dinners use, so you know that they're not available foods for you to choose from. They've already been called for or whatever. So so that's what you're gonna do for step 2. Step 3 then is you're going to create dinners, list out some dinners that use your pronto foods. Okay, so of course you can pull from non-pronto foods, but you want to focus on those being in this list of dinners. When it comes to making dinners and coming up with the recipe or coming up with a plan with what to have, think very simply, especially right now, especially if you're not much of a cook and now you're kind of forced to be home and make stuff. Let's talk about what a complete meal is briefly. A complete meal has a quality protein, okay? So that could be something like, whether it's a meat, chicken, a beef, a fish, or it could be, tofu, if you tofu, or beans. Okay, so you need to have some sort of meat, protein portion, of quality protein portion, not processed. And then a vegetable, always. You never go wrong, tons of vegetables. and then a good fat, which is going to be olive oils, olives, avocados, nuts included in that. So a good fat, and then you could have like more of your starchy vegetables on the smaller side of your potatoes, your corn, either some whole grains like quinoa, farro, rice, or that's where your fruit can come in. So just think real simply. Although remember, we're not in the most ideal situation right now, so it may not be the most ideal perfect dinners, but just think more simply, with what you've got, and overcomplicate it too much. Okay. All right. So that is for step number 3, the pronto meals. Okay. The step number 4 is now you're going to take whatever else is remaining over here and make some dinners with it. Okay, use that basic instructions I was just sharing with you on how to do that, and you're going to list those out. Now, if any of these meals are ones that you would, the quantity that makes is enough to have for 2 nights, then mark that beside as like a ×2 that you can get some leftovers out of it. So hopefully, I'm a fan of leftovers. I don't like cooking every single night, so encouragement to do that, maybe double up so you don't. So hopefully you have about 10 recipes plus a few nights for leftovers to help you with making your 14 days of dinner planning. All right, and so then step 5, we move on to create our 14 days of dinner planning. And so you're obviously going to start with the dinners that have the pronto foods first, okay? So it has the pronto foods. You want to focus on maybe getting those done in the first part of these 14 days. Remember to mark any leftover days that you have, and then pull from the other to continue on for the rest of the 2 weeks. You also want to think about anytime with your dinner planning of having variety, if possible, based on what you have, of having variety through the week of, I've got a couple of Mexican dishes. I definitely want to spread those out. Or, not having 5 nights of beef in a row, but having chicken, beef, seafood, chicken, something like kind of variety throughout your week is very important. There's always a variety in your fruits and vegetables, as they are the most important part, one of the most important keys to get all your vitamins and nutrients in. So there you go. There's the 5 steps. Remember, step 1, make an inventory of your food. Step 2, make a list of all the dinners that you've already planned for, someone's requested that you make. Step 3, plan dinner, create some dinners with using the pronto foods. Step 4, make dinners with the rest of everything that's remaining. And then step 5, plan out for your 14 days. And so this can also help you be like, oh, where have I got some stuff I'm missing and need to plug in? That's what this little box is for you to kind of feel like, okay, next time to the store, I need to go get this. So share this with me. I'd love to see your own dinner menus. You can share it with me, social media, 7 Core Wellness at Instagram and Facebook, and tag me. Email me at jen@7corewellness.com and share it. I'd love to see it. All right, guys. Wishing you guys the best health and happiness and wellness during this time.